Does my legacy ever feel like a burden?
It's a lot to live up to.
Now you need to remember who you are. A Dupree woman. Find your inner strength.
Once we launch my purse line, we'll be on our way to giving the Kardashians a run for their money. I'm gonna shake things up.
A cycle of anger isn't healthy.
I'll be healthy again. As soon as I make a couple of cheaters pay for blowing up my life.
There were a number of times when you or a member of your family needed a favor. This is a situation where you owe me one. Have a nice rest of your day.
It sounds like someone deliberately tried to hurt you.
Sounds like attempted murder.
Can't imagine how terrified you must have been.
I found out who did this.
I love you, Derek.
For one night, let me remind you of who you still are.
I fell in love with an inconvenient man.
Now you have to deal with the inconvenient consequences. You see how that...
Beyond the Gate spoilers suggest Naomi Hawthorne, Ariel Prepeti, is hiding a major secret. While she's doing it for noble reasons, will this BRCA lie tear her marriage apart? Beyond the Gate spoilers imply that Naomi has been through the ringer lately. Not only is her grandmother, Anita Dupree, Tamara Tunie, battling breast cancer, but the family learned that the condition can be carried down from generation to generation. Naomi's mom and aunt then got tested, and it was learned that Daphnee Duplaix, Karla Mosley, inherited the BRCA gene. As Daphnee tested positive for the genetic marker, Naomi and her sister, Chelsea Hamilton, Ronnie Rose Mantilla, got tested. Chelsea got the results before Naomi. After all, Hamilton comes before Hawthorne when the lab delivered the information. During the Friday, January 16th episode, everyone was at the country club in good spirits, celebrating Chelsea's news when Naomi received her results. It was clear from Naomi's expression that her tests weren't clear, but that she was lying. She obviously didn't want to worry her family and spoil the mood. Jacob Hawthorne senses something is off. Jacob Hawthorne, Jiba Horges, Naomi's husband, didn't notice his wife's lie on Friday's show. However, leading up to all the tests and Anita's news, he could tell Naomi was building up walls. The couple had started therapy, and their lines of communication had been so healthy and strong that he was discouraged by Naomi closing up and not sharing her feelings. When Naomi is stressed, she dives into work, something she has been doing lately. This was a telltale sign that something was bothering her, so he encouraged more therapy, but Naomi abruptly declined. Could Naomi shut Jacob out in the stress of knowing she carries the BRCA gene? What if he suggests growing their family again? Naomi would adamantly refuse, but now she has another reason, as she wouldn't want to pass the BRCA gene on to their child. Still, Jacob doesn't know that. What happens when Jacob learns the truth, that Naomi lied to everyone, including him? Could Naomi's BRCA secret ruin her marriage? Watch the CBS soap daily for all the Fairmont Crest drama and visit CTS regularly for the hottest Beyond the Gates news, updates, and spoilers. An agonizing silence hangs, broken only by the hum of machinery. Finally, Bill speaks without looking over. Heard about the sprinkler incident. Innovative problem solving. Ted, mistaking this for camaraderie, launches in. Right. You gotta fight fire with water. Speaking of heat, that was some gala, huh? Your ex really knows how to light a fuse. And your new assistant. Dynamite. Nice work if you can get it. Bill's pace on the elliptical doesn't change, but his gaze turns to ice. Careful, Ted, he says, his voice dangerously quiet. The next time you comment on my personal or professional life, you'll find out what happens when I pull a lever. He dismounts and walks away, leaving Ted sputtering and drenched in a cold sweat entirely unrelated to his workout. That afternoon, a delivery arrives for Daphnee at Sterling Global. A small, elegant box containing not jewelry, but a first-edition copy of her favorite, obscure novel. The attached card, in Bill's distinct script, reads, "You asked for space. I'm giving it. But I'm not giving up. Some stories are worth waiting for." It's a disarming move, intellectual and personal, proving he knows her far better than she realized. It shakes her resolve more than any grand gesture could have. Meanwhile, Kat is acting on Sarah's advice. She meets covertly with a former colleague from her investigative days, a tech whiz named Leo who operates from a hacker pad in Wicker Park. I need to build a case, she tells him, sliding a folder of Ilana's known shell companies across the table. Airtight, undeniable, and completely off my family's radar. Can you help? Leo grins. Sterling, going rogue? I thought I'd never see the day. It'll cost you. Kat smiles, a genuine, determined smile for the first time in days. Bill me. Thursday, January 22nd. Alliances forged in fire. Ilana, rattled by the anonymous text, decides to go on the offensive. She summons Michael Bennett to the management office. Michael, security has been lax, she begins, her tone honeyed steel. There have been breaches. I want a full audit of digital access logs, key fob histories, the works. Starting with the weeks leading up to the gala. She's looking for Kat's source, but Michael, sensing a witch hunt and protective of his wife's new friend, subtly stonewalls. Of course, Mrs. Rhodes. Though comprehensive audits of that nature require board approval and can take months. I'll start the paperwork. As he leaves, he sends a quick, coded warning to Sarah. The Queen is checking her pawns. Tell your friend to cover her tracks. Danny, unable to focus with Bill's gift burning a hole in her desk drawer, agrees to a lunch with Sarah. At a noisy cafe far from the gates, the dam breaks. I slept with Bill, she confesses in a rush. Sarah, to her credit, doesn't spill her iced tea. Okay. And the world didn't end. It will, Danny insists. When Ilana finds out, she will atomize me. When the press finds out, he'll be painted as a predator and I'll be the gold-digging assistant. There is no version of this that ends well. Sarah leans forward. Or, you're two consenting adults who found something real in the middle of a fake world. But you'll never know if you're too scared to find out. Their conversation is witnessed, however, by a snooping Margot Henderson, who was at the cafe sampling the scones. By dinner, a carefully worded rumor is already snaking through the Gates text chains. Is the Sterling knight consoling himself with his damsel in distress assistant? How medieval. Friday, January 23rd. Points of no return. The week culminates in a tense, private dinner in Bill's condo. He didn't invite her. Danny came of her own volition, the book in her hand. This was cruel, she says, holding it up. It's kind, he corrects, pouring her a glass of wine. There's a difference. The air is thick with everything unsaid. They argue about practicality, about scandal, about Ilana. You think I'm afraid of her? Bill's laugh is short, harsh. I built an empire. Danny. She just lives in one of its rooms. Finally, exhausted by the push and pull, Danny whispers the core truth. I'm not afraid of her. I'm afraid of needing you. And then losing you. It's the pattern of my life. In that admission, the last wall crumbles. Bill closes the distance, cradling her face. Then let's break the pattern, he murmurs, before kissing her with a tenderness absent from their first, desperate kiss. This one is a promise. And as they sink into the certainty of the moment, neither sees the shadow detach from the service stairwell across the atrium, a shadow with a long lens camera. Meanwhile, in the bowels of the Gates parking garage, Kat meets Leo for a data drop. He hands her encrypted drive. Your stepmother is into some seriously deep water, Kat. International wire transfers, forged provenance on half her heirlooms. This isn't just social climbing, this is a financial siege engine. Kat grips the drive like a lifeline. This is her way out, her way forward. But as she turns to leave, she sees Robertstown car idling in its reserved spot. Her father is inside, watching her, his expression unreadable. He gives a slow, almost imperceptible nod, not of approval, but of acknowledgement. The game, he seems to say, is truly afoot. And for the first time, Kat Sterling is playing by her own rules.